my name is Kat, and today I have a different hair color, yes, and I'm also going to be doing my July reading wrap-up. So I actually read quite a lot this month. I got through my TBR and then some. And a large credit is due to Booktubeathon, and then another partial credit is due to Jennifer L. Armentrout, but I'll get to that in a minute. I ended up reading 13 books this month, which is awesome, but it means that I have a lot to talk about right now, so let's get the show on the road. So the first book that I read this month was one that I have been intending to get to for a very long time. It was actually one of my TBR jar books, and that was The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. I had seen the movie and I really enjoyed it, so I really wanted to get into this book, and after reading it, I can now say that the book is better than the movie. Oh yeah. We get to know the characters so much better in this book. We see more of their lives and their relationships. We also see more of like the complexity and the darkness in their lives, which was kind of omitted from the movie. It's kind of a slower paced book, almost more of like a character study on Henry and Claire and their lives and their relationship, and I just really enjoyed it. Like, I feel like I know these characters so well, and they just have such a beautiful romance, and it's a really good book. If you haven't read it, I know I'm really late to the game reading this, but it's a very good book and I definitely recommend it. Next, I read the Leviathan Trilogy by Scott Westerfeld, which is made up of the 3 books, Leviathan, Behemoth, and Goliath. I really loved this trilogy. I mean, Scott Westerfeld is one of my favorite authors, so I'm a little bit biased in his favor, but I just think it is a brilliant story. And I actually did a full review on this trilogy, so I will link that in the description if you would like to hear more of my thoughts on this. After I finished the Leviathan trilogy, it was time for Booktubeathon. And I started Booktubeathon with The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. I don't have a physical copy of the book because I read it on my Kindle, but I did do a full review, so I will link that in the description if you want to hear more of my thoughts on The Cuckoo's Calling. Next, during the Booktubeathons, I tackled the remaining 3 books of the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. And I gotta say, I love this series a great deal. I read Blood Promise on one day in the middle of Booktubeathon, and then on the last day of Booktubeathon, I read Spiritbound and Last Sacrifice. It was a big reading day. This series is just wonderful. I love the characters and the world and the story, and it's written in just such an engaging and kind of addicting way. Like, I couldn't put these books down. I had to read them, and they were very good and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I finished the series, and now I am super excited to get into the spin-off series, Bloodlines, because oh boy, I've heard that one's even better. Also during Booktubeathon, kind of in between reading the Vampire Academy books, I listened to The Fault in Our Stars audiobook by John Green. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It is a beautiful story, beautifully written, beautiful characters. It's beautiful, and I want to hug it and never stop, but that's not practical. If you haven't read this book yet, I don't know why. There's something wrong with you, but fear not. I'm here to set you on the right path. Read this book. You won't regret it. And then Booktubeathon was over, and it was time for me to move on to the last book of my intended TBR, which was from my TBR jar, which was The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks by E. Lockhart. I haven't been reading a lot of contemporary this year so far, but this was a really good remedy to that. It takes place at a boarding school, and the main character, Frankie, is so smart and funny. I just could not help but cheer her on the entire time and get like so frustrated on her behalf with how she was being treated. This book was just very clever and funny, and I just want to cheer Frankie on and then give her a high five and be like, you're awesome, because she is. After finishing The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks, I didn't really intend to read anything else this month. But then on Sunday, I think, at like 1 in the morning, I was kind of feeling in the mood to read something, so I picked up this book, and this series became my life. Obsidian by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Armentrout, is that how you say it? I picked it up at 1 a.m. and I didn't put it down until 6 a.m. when I had finished it. Pro tip: don't pick up this book unless you have hours to devote yourself to it. It was just so fun funny and entertaining, and the world was so cool, and the writing was so, like, engaging and has that addictive quality that I just love. So all you guys who have been recommending this book to me and telling me that I was gonna love it, you are right. I loved it so much, in fact, that after I finished this one, I purchased the second book, Onyx, on my Kindle, and then read all of that. And then I purchased the third book, Opal, and read almost all of that. I have 100 pages to go, and oh my god, I am just dying to get back to it. I had to put it down at 4 in the morning last night because I just couldn't lose any more sleep because of this series, but I am so desperate to read these last 100 pages. Oh my goodness, the series has taken over my soul. But yeah, Obsidian, the Lux series. It's very good, very addictive. I am so excited to finish reading Opal tonight, and you bet your bottom dollar when August 27th rolls around and Origin is released, I'm purchasing that on my Kindle immediately, because this book, this series, I don't know, man. I don't know, I really love it. Oh, I really love it. So yeah, I read this book, and then I read book 2, and I'm going to finish book 3 tonight. That is a guarantee. I would have already finished it, but I needed to vlog with the daylight. But this is exactly why I like waiting until all the books in a series are out before reading them, because I love reading them back to back to back. And after I finish Opal book 3, I don't have any more books in the series to read until, you know, later in August, but then I have to wait like another year until book 5. Yeah, this is exactly why I like to wait until all the books are out in a series so I can just marathon that shit. But yeah, that was my July. I had a really great reading month. I think I loved, like, everything I read. Yeah, everything I read was really good, so there's that for you. I recommend all of the books in this video. Anyways, that is it. That is everything I had for this video today, so thank you so much for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great night, and I will have a new vlog up very soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye!